Alright, hi everybody. So I tore my Achilles tendon about 5 months ago and had surgery on a full rupture 4.5 months ago, and today I'm going to be going over the two biggest things that I really emphasized in my recovery that got me back running 3 months later, and then kind of what I'm doing in the future and right now at the end to prevent any more injuries. So starting off, the first thing that I really believe that helped me recover quickly was nutrition. So whenever I tore it, I was pretty active and into lifting weights, so I knew a bit about nutrition. But obviously I had to make some tweaks whenever I tore my Achilles to better emphasize healing. So in that aspect, I took a few different supplements. So I'll show you a few of the things that I started taking. So the things I started taking were magnesium and zinc. I'd taken these before. Just great before bedtime, especially magnesium. It helps relax the muscles. And then for my Achilles specifically, there have been some studies that have shown supplementing with vitamin C and collagen actually really help with Achilles tendon strength in junction with exercise, which is what I'll get to next. And then I would also take vitamin D3 and fish oil and some fiber supplements. So those were just kind of the basic everyday things I'd take, along with a high protein diet. And then I was staying slightly above my maintenance calories just to facilitate more tissue building. So yeah, that's kind of what I did with my nutrition wise. I think that's a really important part, along with proper hydration and making sure you're getting at least half of what your body weight is in ounces. So the next thing I'll be talking about is what I did in terms of exercise and recovery. So there's a bit more room. Achilles tendon repairs aren't really like a set in stone rehab. It depends on which doctor you go to. So I was in a splint for 2 weeks, and then in a walking boot at 25% body weight for a week, and then 50% for a week, and then 75% for a week, and then 100%. Then at 6 weeks after my surgery, I started transition out of it. So I think the exercise part really started to come in about week 2 once I got out of the splint and into the walking boot. So a few things I really used and think helped me was, number one, I used something called a Graston tool. Looks kind of like this. I got mine off of Amazon. So I worked with my physical therapist every day to work on breaking down scar tissue, stuff like this. So I would just use this whenever I didn't have physical therapy and just kind of work the Achilles and always moving up towards the heart. And that really helped me break down scar tissue. And I still do it to break down, especially on the scar where there's still some tissue buildup. But that's a great tool. Another really great thing is something called red light therapy. I got this one on Amazon as well. I think this one was about $180, but it's well worth it. So what red light therapy does is it facilitates, it gives more energy to your mitochondria and also increases collagen production. And collagen is actually what your Achilles tendon is made of. So it actually really helped with that. And I noticed my scar, my surgeon had glued my scar, and whenever I started doing red light therapy, the glue had been like slowly coming out a little bit, but within 1 week of doing red light therapy at week 2, all the glue had come out and my scar was completely healed. So that was a great tool that I used. Another thing that I did a lot of, here I'll show you, another thing I got was an at-home desk cycle. So I'd be able to bike at home and at my desk, because I wasn't able to drive at that point. So I just kind of used this. That was great just to get flexibility and really helped me not to learn how to walk without a limp. So that was very helpful. And yeah, with exercise, just staying on top of it, working with your physical therapist, finding out what you can handle and staying consistent with it. I did work with marbles, with towels, all sorts of different stuff. Just working on that, working on flexibility. So with flexibility wise stuff, I would get a board and just kind of move it up like this and work on flexibility over time. So those were big things on recovery. Making sure I was getting enough sleep every night, emphasizing those things. But yeah, so that's my two big prongs on my recovery from my Achilles injury. And then finally what I'm doing now So I'm about 4.5 months out. I'm back to running. There's no restrictions on me anymore. And now to get back up to full speed, I'm really focusing on muscle pliability. So last week I went over to Tampa Bay and went to Tom Brady's facility down there, and they do something called muscle pliability. And if you've never heard of it, I'll give you a quick little summary. You can look it up online, they'll explain it more in depth. But basically they're trying to make your muscles long and soft whenever they're firing instead of very dense and hard whenever they're firing. So the best way to describe it is like if you're jumping off a diving board and you're hitting a concrete parking lot, the energy dispersion isn't anywhere, it's just going right into you. Versus if you have long, soft muscles, then the energy dispersion's like you're diving into water where it dissipates over a larger area. So I've been working with them. It's been pretty cool to see that type of stuff. They said reason why I tore my Achilles is because I have weak hips in comparison to my quadriceps and hamstrings. And so my hamstring was taking over for my glutes and hips. And then what the hamstring couldn't handle, it gave to my calf. And what my calf couldn't handle, it gave to my Achilles. And my Achilles obviously couldn't handle what is given because it tore. So that's kind of cool. So things I did was I read the book and then this is actually a really interesting book if you ever want to give it a shot. Read that and then scheduled a session with a body coach down there, and now doing some stuff at home. Like I have a foam roller that actually vibrates here. So their whole thing is the vibrations help with that muscle pliability. So working on that now, about 4.5 months out from surgery. I'm hoping to get back into some level of athletics here in the next month and a half or so. But yeah, right now I'm probably about a month or so ahead of the typical schedule for a full Achilles rupture. But if you follow these tips and tools, I'm confident that you'll find some level of success similar to mine. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. And yeah, I will be coming back with more videos kind of going over health and nutrition and stuff like that, and my thoughts on stuff and experiences. So yeah, I guess I will talk to you guys later.